I finally got this thing plumbed up, and it was not without struggle, at least if you're very picky like I am about the way that you want to do things. So, what I did, this all fits in here now, but this is all broken off, so it's kind of, it is loose, but the copper pipe is holding it up pretty well, and I'll do something to reinforce that. But I finally got it mostly bent into shape, I guess, and I may actually end up having to make this damn thing again because it might be leaking right there still, and I can't really get it any tighter. But that's okay. Like, I did do a test run of this just to see if there were any leaks anywhere. So now I want to, I'm going to fire it up. I'm going to wire it up and fire it up because it's not, I just had it temporarily wired up right now so I could test it. So I'm going to wire it up, test it, and see how well it functions overall and how long it takes to actually fill the tank from empty, which I know is going to be a long time based on what I saw yesterday when I gave it a test fire, but I couldn't let it run because neighbors below me, and I think they're at work, so I might have some time today. But what I've done here is I did actually got it on there, bent, runs under there through the grommets, and it comes up there to, it's this T fitting that I had that I kind of forgot about, which I just got the other end blocked off right now, but I'm going to use that. That's why I used a T, because I'm going to install the auto drain valve up here. And, well, you might say, hey, that's kind of counterintuitive. It's supposed to be at the bottom to drain the tank. It will still work because any water that is at the bottom of the tank with the air pressure will still get pushed up to the drain valve and still be able to drain and come out this port here. And that way it's also accessible and safe from any damage from underneath, because I'm going to have to put bigger tires on this. I was going to anyway, but I'm going to have to put bigger tires on because that's the original drain valve that was in it, and it's almost on the ground. I mean, we're talking it's really close, so I'm going to put this up here. And I'll test it anyway. I don't see any reason it wouldn't work because it's still going to push air and moisture, water and moisture out. So I'm going to get this wired up and then give it a test run, and we'll see how long it takes to fill up. Wired up, plugged in, and ready to turn on. I'm going to set it up on a tripod and let it record and see. I forgot to mention too, I am going to have to do something about this gauge because the pulsing of the air just makes this fly around back and forth from where it is. So I need either like a liquid filled gauge or some other kind of dampening option. But, I mean, works okay. So far, anyway. So I'm going to get the tripod set up and then I'll fire it up. Alright, I'm all set up and looking at one of the regulator gauges because they're more stable than the main pressure gauge. And I do have it turned all the way up to as high as it goes, I believe 120? I'm not sure there. But I want to see how long it's going to take to get to 175 psi is what this should be capable of. But on a 20-gallon tank, it's going to take a little while. And because of these little auto drain valves right here, I got to wait till a little bit of pressure builds up and then try and pull them down. So it will take a moment or two before the tank, or before the compressor and everything's all sealed off, filling the tank. So, in 3, 2, 1. explains a lot. So I just checked the specs on the side of the other tank that I took that pump off of, and it says maximum pressure 125. So it might not actually even be able to get to 175. But I also didn't realize that the regulator was leaking because it was bleeding off pressure above its set point. So that might have kind of affected things a little bit. And everything works though. But I do have to secure this in here because while it does work, it gets pushed down a little bit and then it just unloads slowly. Or if I push it up, it'll unload instantly like you heard. So yeah, I'm gonna have to make a few adjustments here. I don't want to have to drain the tank of air again because it's a real pain in the butt, but I might have to. Yeah, I might have to drain the tank and try again and see how long it takes. See how long it takes to get to 150, if it can get to 150, because, oh, it actually maybe is already at 150, so, I mean, I'm pretty happy with 150. Should do anything I need it to do. So for now, the only other thing that I got to do is just put a heavier cable on here because it is meant to have a heavier cable, which I might use the original one that came with it, I think. But that, I think at least for the time being, kind of wraps this up. It's together, it's functional. I don't think it's leaking. I might set up the camera and do a time lapse for myself and see if it is, but I don't think it leaks anywhere. I think I got all that sealed up. But yeah, that's no touch. That's hot. Hot? That is wildly cool for having just run for that amount of time. I guess that's a good thing. I might want to beef up airflow somehow, but I'm not sure how I can get more cooling over these fins. Because on the much smaller tank, I don't think it has a very long duty cycle, but it doesn't really make sense to me necessarily because you've got an oil pump. There's oil in here, so it's actively lubricating things. It's got nice big heat sinks on it. Airflow over there, and when you compare that to the compressor that came off of here to this little one, there's like not much in terms of cooling or airflow or anything like that, so I don't really know how this one could possibly be better. Maybe if somebody else knows, they can tell me. I'd love to know. But yeah, that she's together. And the only other thing that I really got to do, which I'm not going to worry about right now, is put the auto drain valve on it like I want to. Make some adjustments to this handle, because I think when it actually literally fell off of the back of wherever it fell off of, it was, the handle was dented. Or bent, I guess, more specifically. So that's where she's at. And there's definitely some tweaks that I'm going to make. You know, it got kind of out of hand here, and sometimes I start getting kind of frustrated when things are taking longer than they should take. So, but I got it together, and that's what matters. It's working and functional now, and I can use it and like use my nail gun, my little brad nailer and stuff, so I can maybe assemble some things, because quite frankly it's kind of hard to, you know, use it with that one, the rigid one, because it'll still kind of run quite a bit and kind of gets low on pressure quickly. When this one came to me, it was leaking, So I had to take it apart and find out what was going on and repair that, which it just actually turned out to be the sight glass. So, yeah, and that other little pancake compressor, well, not a pancake compressor, but that's what's inside of the housing that I have, is also not really good for like firing nails into stuff. It kind of loses its oomph real quick. So this would be a better idea for home use, other than what I explained its original intended purpose was for, which was for hauling around a yard and being a way to not have to run back into the shop for stuff or carry it or roll it around the shop if need be, which wasn't really the case because we had that huge Webster system down there in our shop at the time. So I'm going to wrap that up for now. And if you've watched this far, I really appreciate your viewership. Please subscribe. I mean, if you've watched this far and you're interested in the stuff, hit the button so that you can get notified. I don't have any kind of consistent schedule. And just kind of making things, you know, as I'm doing things. So if you really are interested, it helps a lot. And then you can get notified of when my videos are available. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.